Win Wellness, presented by Bank of America and Sunlighten, would like to thank the following sponsors for their support.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Sarah Getch. I am a doctor of clinical psychology and I am the program director at Kansas City University for the Health Service Psychology program.
I'm Angel McGee. I'm a professional sports colleague in the professional sports world for over 10 years.
I'm Ella Phillips and I'm a collegiate athlete.
So I'm really happy to be chatting with you two here today. You may have noticed over the course of the Olympics that there was a lot of conversation around not so much women's performance, but a lot about their bodies and their appearance and what they look like. And so you two, having come from athletic backgrounds and professional athlete backgrounds, I was hoping maybe you could tell us a little bit about your experiences with how people have talked about your body rather than your performance.
Yeah, I'll go first. So I think my body has been talked about since I was very young. I started dancing when I was 2 years old, and I have vivid memories of being in ballet class and my ballet teacher telling me that she can see my lunch when she should have been saying,
Wow.
Engage your core, close your rib cage. And I was on TikTok earlier this summer, and it popped up on my feed, and it had 1.2 million likes. And I was like, wow, like this is a universal experience for not only dancers, but a lot of athletes. And it just was kind of like, okay, this does need to be talked about a lot more because, I mean, it's just something that you have to talk about to kind of be able to process it and move past it and work through it. And I'm glad that we're doing that here today to just kind of bring light to body image and talking about it in a respectful and helpful way to viewers and athletes.
Wow.
Yeah, I think vivid memories for me would be in high school and just always the comparison between what you look like, and I don't know why image was such a very popular dynamic for young girls, especially within athletes. And I think we don't talk about sometimes what that comes from a coaching perspective too. Taboo in that sense of in the world of sports and how it starts at a very young age, not only from where we hear it as 3 years old, I can see your lunch, but and as it grows, when we're on the field, on the court, around our peers, even from coaching perspectives, and how that stays with us even now into adulthood. So, and now that I am a parent of an athlete, it's a lot more prevalent even with social media. And I think we saw a lot of that with the Olympics, as we've touched on in certain athletes like Simone Biles and a lot of the rugby team. So it's there, it's prevalent.
So you said the way that it sticks with you even now as an adult. So I'd like to hear from both of you about what that means to you. How does it stick with you when you as a child are having people comment on your body?
I think just the way that I have viewed myself for my whole life and have compared it. I have grown up in front of a mirror my whole life. So when you're being told things, a big word that was thrown around on social media is like body dysmorphia. And I had no idea what that was until social media kind of brought that word to me. And I was like, do I have this? Like, I think I look great. Like, I look kind of like my peers, but I'm being told like on social media and just by other outside factors, like, this isn't what you're supposed to look like. Like, this is what a dancer looks like. This is what an athlete looks like. This is just like normal. And it took me a while to kind of realize like everybody is so different. Like everybody is born like so different, and you can't compare yourself to the person next to you. And that took me like so long to figure out. I think one big thing that I did was kind of set unrealistic expectations for myself.
Sure.
And timelines and how I was supposed to do it and what I was supposed to look like. And social media played a big role in that as well, of how to lose weight in like 30 days. And like, it's just like kind of like a crazy like journey that I would say I've been on, but I've learned to just kind of find it in myself that my body and what I look like doesn't define me as who I am as an athlete.
I love that. I love the examples that you're sharing. And one of the reasons why I love it is because you're talking about this technique that I like to share with people, that I teach people. I call it, I didn't make it up, but I call it catch it, check it, change it. And so it's exactly what you're talking about. It's this idea that the experiences that we have shape our thoughts and beliefs about ourselves, about others, and about the world. And so you're talking about how you would fall into this thinking pattern of comparing yourself to somebody else. But then you started to catch that thinking and you started to think, hey, maybe that's not the healthiest way for me to be engaging with my thoughts right now. And then you sort of weigh whether or not you should be engaging in that thought pattern. Is this getting me closer to my goal? Is this taking me farther away from my goal? All of that good stuff. And then you have a new narrative, just like you gave us. You just gave us a new narrative, which was like, hey, wait a second. Everybody's body is so different and beautiful. It doesn't all have to be the same. And so I love that you're living an example of catch it, check it, change it, which is a skill that, I think is extremely valuable. Have you ever found yourself, struggling with a negative thought?
Oh my gosh, yes. So similar to Ella, I think kind of the parameter of being in the 20s versus how I view myself now in the 30s is completely different. So how Ella touched on, right? So how Ella touched on setting unrealistic expectations, coming through college, being a former athlete, just all the things, social media, you have a set image of what you think your body's supposed to look like. 20s, that was all me. Like just having this picture of what I need to be constantly, but not really coming on into like, there's life actually happening. I'm a mom, I'm a working mom. I have a lot of things on my plate. And you get older and your body changes. And I think we don't often look at how life is life and everyone's bodies are different, like Ella talked about. So for me in the 20s, I had to relinquish that thought of what I think my body's supposed to look like. And just, this is me. This is accepting what I look like. I love me. I am still beautiful. It is not, I'm not, 16-year-old Angel or 21-year-old Angel. I'm now in my 30s as a grown woman and coming into that narrative. And I think social media has a lot to do with it. And the body dysmorphia conversation is absolutely mind-blowing of just how many women and men, because we were not going to leave any out there, but just how that topic in itself has blown up. And a lot of the dynamics surrounding it of how that, even to now to this day, young girls, and it's still an ongoing topic. I guess that's what I'm trying to say at the end of the day. It's still something that is a struggle for any age group and any gender, to be quite honest. But for myself, I know that it's just coming into being confident in myself and just owning it. Like I just, I've been, around the block, as I like to call it, in life. And that just comes with experiences and just stop putting parameters on self and image. And at the end of the day, 10 out of 10 of us that are looking at other people, we all feel the same way. Yeah. No one looks like that in real life. I always tell myself that. Yes. No one looks like that in real life. It's true. And I think everyone's just beautiful in the way that they are created and that they are made. And I think that's the topic, and those are the messages that we have seen now coming out, just with a lot of different branding and marketing and brands that are showcasing different looks, shapes, sizes of individuals that we're focusing on. But particularly in the athletic realm, like we talked about, from a lot of the female athlete side of things, it's accepted. I don't know why it wasn't so accepted before, but here we are now, I think, trying to change a tune and changing a page in our generation. As we look at it from an athletic perspective. Yeah.
I do think that age has a lot to do with it too. And I don't, for many different reasons, but one of the reasons is, and you said something really important about feeling more like your authentic self. And so as you sort of lean into that, as you get older, you just feel more comfortable in that realm, I think. And that is very, very helpful. So you mentioned to me earlier that you have a daughter. Yes. And so now you're living this on that side of things too. So when you see your daughter being bombarded by social media, these images, wanting to compare herself to other people, what do you say to her?
Man, that is so interesting because one thing I had to catch while she was growing up, I was on like a weight loss fitness journey. And I would openly talk about like, oh, I feel heavy today. Oh my gosh, I'm fat. Oh my gosh, just those types of comments. And I wasn't realizing she was picking all of that up. And then she would say things like, Mommy, stop saying you're fat. Mommy, stop saying that. Like, and it was not even cueing me of like, she's watching me talk about body image. Like, what is that saying to her? You know, even in this young age. So as we continue to grow, even now, as she's in her own athletic journey, it's easier to have those conversations. But she's also made some comments about, Mama, do you think I'm fat? And I'm like, absolutely not. And I had to bring it back. I said, you know, you're 13, you're in middle school, you have high metabolism, you have, you know, just all the different things. And I said, your body is going to continue to change. I said, but be confident in who you are. Body doesn't mean, the image doesn't mean anything. If anything, we're judging people off of character in that sense. So not off of what people look like, not off of, you know, yes, if you feel like you just want to binge, you had a day today and all it was snacks, have at it. But it's just that sense of, even now in the preteen stage, it's even more, you know, TikTok is just blown up, and we know what social media does and all the things and how you look. So for us to have those open conversations, me as a mom, it's just more so re-instilling into her where her worth is, where her authenticity is, where, you know, the real work lies, and just the image itself is just be who you are.
The idea is that each one of us is unique and different. And that also means that there's no one else just like you, which means you are a masterpiece. Your body is genuinely a masterpiece, and no one else will ever look exactly the same as you. And so getting to be able to change and shift our thinking to that would be really incredible. That's what I try to give my daughter day in and day out.
Yeah, I think both of you guys are hitting it spot on, of just the reaffirmations.
Yeah.
And then the authenticity and just the masterpiece that you're one of one.
For more information, visit winforkc.org.